So I'm looking for a very good run. That's going to hurt me later. Oh well. Three, two, one, go. So this is Castlevania Curse of Darkness, Glitchless 20%. The texture. To start, we have this Executioner. You know, we got some good luck there because it didn't really do anything. He can attack you and waste his time. Not a big deal, but if possible, I want to be as centered as I can to the doors because you can open the doors frames faster if you are centered to the door. And you're not supposed to accidentally change the angle. So these skeletons have 21 HP. They have 15% chance to draw bronze, and I would like to get about 4 bronze. I got 1. So the skeletons can somewhat in delay. Hopefully we can just run through them. But if we do run directly into them, they do slow us down slightly. Same for the Fenrir's that are on the way. In this room, we need to defeat the Cyclops specifically. We don't have to worry about the skeletons in general. So now we are getting the fairy ID. We're just going to use the default names because it has naming them. And this chest here is the Dragon Crest, which we used. And now we're going to use our memorial save that we picked up at the start of the game to go back to the start of the game. Because only fairies can open the treasure chest in this game. That's one of their powers. I will want this potion for later. and it doesn't take any time to pick it up. So we have another executioner here, more skeletons. I would like to get some more bronze, but there are more skeletons later, which is the only way you can get bronze in this game. The skill I just kind of avoided in the room with the executioner was the bestiary, which we do not need for this category. Also, I am trying to quick slip into loading zones, because quick slips are faster than basic running. The problem at the moment is there's a delay after each quick step. It makes it slower than just continuous running. Weapon combine is going to be very important later. Right now we don't have the materials to use it. Create the filler with the basic combo, and then also we will open this treasure chest to get the evil crystal skill. Then we have more running through hallways. We have a basic. Now we're going to have another fight with more skeletons, and we're going to have some zombies. I'm going to try to fight these skeletons first, because that gives me the chance to get bronze. Also, they're faster to defeat with the short swords than these zombies are. From the zombies, I'm looking for wild memory. Which I did not get any, so that's a bit unfortunate, so I am going to lose just a little bit of time for the next set. Actually, I lost time for a zombie after like the first one for not getting the drop of one, outside of it being like Rosario. So here's another set of zombies. And now, I'm going to make some short swords. And the hatchet here. Sometimes enemies like jumping around. These Desmond Blazes are some of the worst at the start of the game for just jumping. Now we're going to get our only movement tech, which is double step, which means we're actually not going to use double step for movement throw, we're going to use split steps. Because split steps are faster than running, but only after we have double step. Because double step means the delay that would usually happen after them isn't there anymore. And I will lose about 1 second every time I double step. So. I want to do them as quickly as possible. Without actually doing double step. This room's not going well, actually. So we're starting our first boss fight, which is going to be crazy armor. This fight has 2 phases. So I'm going to do some footsteps under the weapons every time it's attacked. That prevents me from getting hit. Because footsteps have iframes. Where you can't be hit during them. In the second phase, I'm going to hope for good luck, basically. That I don't get hit a bunch. When you sit down in the down below, you want to be as centered as possible because that's the way you will take the least amount of walking steps forward. If you flip the camera right after you get off, it goes a bit crazy getting stuck on the ceiling right there. Then we get the battle ID. This one is going to be used for about 80% of the game, according to the in-game statistics. Let's step out of here. And now we know what I was trying to do. double steps into load zones, put steps into load zones earlier. Now it saves time if I do double steps into the load zones, which I usually don't want to be doing double steps though, because I am losing time unless it is into a loading zone like that. That one was fun. So we are going and making a detour here, because Perfect Guard, the thing we're going to get for this detour, is very worth it. Also, we're just going to do chain attacks on the Cyclops, that prevents it from doing anything. The Storm on that ledge is one of the best places to get Storm if you don't get randomly from the torch drop. Okay, now I did not. Okay, that's very unfortunate. I wanted some jet black from one of the Lizard, but I didn't get it, so that's going to change the strats up a bit. I will need steel later because there are several materials where you're going to steal from enemies. Also, this is going to be harder than usual because I did not get the broadsword. Basically, any attack in the game can be perfect guarded, with like very few exceptions. Because I did not get lucky enough to get jet black, I am going to shoot the armor knights that are going to spawn. Hopefully. They don't. On guard. In here there are more armor knights to fight. I should have plenty of aluminum now. That's finding a lot of memory as well. So I'm probably losing just a tiny amount of time. Thanks for not having the broadsword yet. And I'm probably going to it is very likely that these drop jet black. Which means now I can make a few things. There's a slim chance the freaks drop sunny side up eggs, which would be nice for later, but not important. So Wyvern, we have a few specific strats. Alright, we got it. Instant. Yep, and you can just fall off if you start attacking Wyvern like that. Which, and now I'm getting bad luck again. Which is fine. Fine, it just means I have to do this ever so slightly slower strat. That if I get. Now, I will jump forward and just wait. Alright, Wyvern's defeated. Trying to get the heal field. Only the E-Freak matters in this round. Now these 3 Bone Soldiers each have a 30% chance to drop steel, and it will be nice to get a piece of steel. I did not, so we're losing some time just because of that. If I move my ID to command mode here and then put it back in guard, it doesn't teleport right in front of me. And here's the first thing I'm going to steal, which is Holy Man's Vein. Just more footsteps through hallways now. There's there's not a ton of fighting in this area, actually. So in here, because I did not get the mace that I would have made other guys, and it takes slightly longer to defeat the wizards. Some fraction of a second. I'm also going to get scared Fuji. Here comes the Celestian. Now I'm going to watch the Spectral Swords and see if I can steal 200 gold from them. Because that will let me do a slightly safer version of this route. And because we don't have a mace, we are losing a little time in this boss fight versus Trevor. Anytime he does that attack, I would like to perfect guard it. Guard it because if I'm in the right place, I can start attacking faster if I do. If I mess it up, though, not so much. I really don't like Trevor in this corner. In theory, you might be able to push him out of bounds and end this fight faster, but that's kind of difficult to do. I don't need the heal field here because I'm going to go talk to Julia. Of course. I'm going to use the magical tickets.
Welcome. What can I do for you? Will anything else? Will that be all? What do you need? Will that gotcha? Will that gotcha? Will that be all? What do you need? Will that gotcha? Will that gotcha? Will that be all? Do your best.
So this is the aqueduct. The main thing in here at the moment is going to be bone soldiers because I can get I am going to collect these Evo crystals. I did kind of delay at the drawer for a reason there, because it takes time for these Evo crystals to fly to the battle ID. And I actually want to make sure I actually collected them. Okay, I got really bad luck now. So that means I'm going to have to do something that I prefer not, but should be okay. Okay, you're coming up in just a moment. But first, we're going to just damage boost across this gap by getting shot and jumping. And there we go. The necromancers, the wizard type enemies by the bone soldiers here are why I don't want to fight them. However, in this round, there's just a swarm of bone soldiers. 2, 3. 3 pieces of steel will get me what I want for now, so it was a bit unfortunate I had to kill a few extra things, but not that bad. And this is another room where we're going to have to fight. This time it's going to be Blaze Masters. And we're going to use the chain attack at the start of this fight to move our battle ID closer. That took a few more hearts than I really would have liked, but that's okay. Sometimes when the cutscene starts, you can do quick steps close to where you want to go. Go like with that lever there. The only thing I need to fight in this room are the ghosts, Evo crystals. So I know I just missed out on 2 Evo crystals because I opened the door too quickly. Hopefully that's not a problem, however, I do really want to get the evolution as quickly as possible. Okay, that's actually really bad. So, because I'm playing on the Xbox version, I don't lose my plus strength bonus. However, it means I'm not getting to use Aura Blast to help me with the fight, and I also don't have a chance for Evo Crystals, just because it's in spirit form. Form the little thing that's following Hunter. So I do need to go in that save room. That restores my HP and my instant double hearts. Then we can just jump off there. Chain attack there. I got ancient memory. I'm not worried about it. Because a lot of the material he needs in this run are drops. So Aura Blast does 3 times magic base damage to enemies, so I want to use it basically as much as possible. However, it also does like just throw enemies. So I did not get the evolution yet, which is slightly disappointing, but ultimately okay. Now I'm going to do another set of weapons. I should have put my helmet there because I bought one, but that's okay. Then I'm going to go into the save room, and I'm going to register this save room. That will let me use a memorial ticket after this extremely heavy RNG boss fights. I would not be surprised if I lose a minute or more to this boss fight. Thankfully, it does have a bit of a stun lock, but so Aura Blast just completely missed it. So if I can keep Hi fish. You're not jumping back on the fish yet. Okay, that's really bad. And that's just because I missed an attack. Okay, actually, the fish here takes a bit more damage than the rider does. And again, missed an attack, so hopefully it just jumps back and not a sphere. It doesn't have low enough HP that it's not going to jump back on the platform. I missed an attack. Bad. Really bad. Considering. Okay, I'm expecting to jump back on the platform still, which is still going to be very bad. Because once it gets to the last quarter of its HP, it won't take damage while it's on the platform. So that was a bad fight. I don't need the heal field after this fight because I'm going to warp directly into a save room after I get the bird ID. just taking the default name again. Then it's easy to hit the wall if you just try to glide right across that gap. You can somewhat curve it, but curve the glide, but that's a bit difficult to do because it really wants to make glide a very straight shot. So coming up is a very important material. We need steel from this red ogre. Like that. I would also like a piece of indigo steel to drop from it, which I did get, which means I can now make myself a blade, which means I will not have to do another equip until I make my next weapon, and hopefully my instant double will evolve here in the nearest future. Off like the next combat. Also, this area lags a little bit, which makes it doing these quick steps a bit harder than usual. I do need the Evo crystals, and now I get the evolution. That's very good. I would have liked them in the aqueduct, and I missed 2 crystals in the aqueduct, so that's really maddening. Also, I only really need to keep the bone soldiers that spawn over on this side to make this thief over here spawn. And the thief is what will open the door. Don't mind if I do back and guard, just so it doesn't take damage, hopefully. Do I heal those hearts? Nah. So I was debating if it'd be worth it for me to go in that save room. I'm deciding it's not. Then I will turn immediately this way upon entering this room, because I want to get this over here. Now, once the next material, hopefully this will just do its attack. Oh, of course not. That's okay. Maybe this one will. And then get myself some actual armor. Hit press is nice. Get the 1% leather helmet drop, obviously. Now I need... I will heal here, and I will also go ahead and make better armor. Equip the armor, leave, change that press because... Actually, no, on crap. I'm going to use Aura Blast here. Kill this boss, hopefully. But for this first filler, I'm not going to be concerned about that. I'm just going to try not to get hit. And kill this. Okay. Now I'm gonna die. Keep a bit of a stun lock. Okay. I do need this material. I'm going to lose that bit of experience. Experience on my battle ID, but that's actually going to be okay. So now we're in Cordova Town. We're going to look for a lot of white and indigo steel. Also, we're going to hope we don't get the Red Ribbon Rock spawn, because in this area, we're passing by dead barons, dead fencers. They can spawn, and if they hit you, they'll probably deal about 70% of your HP and damage. Alright, there's one white steel. I would have liked to, but maybe the next 4 will drop. All 4? Because that would be nice. It'd be really nice to get 4 white steel, but I really need to. And there's the second. Alright, I can do something with the third, actually. That's better than if I get... the door going backwards in this room lock, however it does not lock the door to go forwards. And in this room, I need to get far enough up these stairs that all 4 of the enemies spawn. I wasn't sure if I was going to flip that hard or not. And the keys, as long as I get full combos in the chain attack. I think that's a bit unfortunate in the Indigo Steel, but I'm not too concerned about it. Now I am going to switch to hip press for one of these Skeleton Riders, because hip press can paralyze them. Need to do a chain attack on these. Or I really should do a chain attack on these to get the instant level closer. Now we're going to do minus bar. I'm also going to make one of these. Switch back to Aura Blast. We will get Ether later. It is ever so slightly faster to get thrown by those enemies if they throw you the right direction than just to continue to footstep through that hallway. Just as long as like you're not doing the boss like a Dual Mirage. So Isaac here. I'm only getting the Devil's Vein, try and get some money, and Isaac is starting by if Abel's exploding in the circle hits you, it can one-shot you, so if we want to actually continue a run, we need to make sure that doesn't happen. Usually, Abel will mostly focus on your innocent devil until Isaac commands it to start attacking you. And Isaac can just kind of evade your attack. Sometimes. So it's unfortunate because you really don't want to be having to do what I'm doing here with these more basic attacks, because the more basic attacks are doing less damage than like full combos. However, they keep Abel from doing anything to you. You failed. We cannot skip the mage ID in Glitchless. We technically could in the glitched run, but doing so is insane. And probably slower. So the main thing we're going to need the mage for is time stop. And the first one we're going to need it for is right here. And we're going to be done with the mage for the moment. So I am trying to defeat enemies a lot with chain attacks, because I need a lot of chain attacks for to press level 2. Alright. In this round, this is a much newer strat, where we will climb these stairs without using time stop. Art. In this room, there's the Siren Gladiator, which we need the steel from. I missed the chain attack on it, that's okay. It's a bit of a problem, but it's okay overall. Now, if I've not told you how ridiculously strong Core Blast is, it also hits flying enemies. Now in here I'd like to get some red steel, but quite a bit actually, but okay, I'm not getting it. That's unfortunate. So hopefully I will get it in here. I did not. That's quite bad, actually. I am going to defeat this great armor, mainly to increase my chain attack number. Then I'm going to start chain attacking these while we're going up, because this is the best place in the game to increase your chain attack number. Now I can leave, because you don't actually have to get that all the way to the top. Okay, I'm getting cold on red steel at this point. The odds I don't get red steel the way I want is incredibly low. Piece of indigo, nice. Somehow no red. That was a mistake. I was supposed to do this before. Alright. It's here. Coming out my mage. Hopefully. Okay. I wasn't planning on doing this strat, but since it hit my mage, I will do this strat. So we're getting close to Saint Germain. Gonna do mirages. Alright, now, thanks for million. I already made a mistake at the very start of the fight. Hopefully we don't make any more. So, Saint Germain has a few different stunlock strats. I find this one slightly easier than the other one. Actually, I find this one quite a bit easier than the other one. Alright, now, he's going to do time reverse, which is going to time stop, so he only heals quarter HP instead of half HP. Then he's going to time stop. I'm getting the Immortal Fragment just so, and now going to time advance because I skipped it. So I'm going to time stop cancel that. Then he's going to time stop again, and because I just did. And now, hopefully we can go back to our Sunlock. Alright. Now we get the Dove ID. Which will be used very, very little. Going to the magical ticket here. All my swords are, I don't need anymore. I don't need the mortgage run anymore. This leather helm. Punch rings. I don't think I actually need those tickets, but just a little bit of safety. I did have to sell my armor, but that's not a big deal. I'll get more red steel, so I'll be able to remake the field armor. In fact, I will do so legitimately right now. Now if I get just a little bit lucky with the enemy spawns here. And I don't have to walk back and forth through this room. If I get that unlucky, I do. I don't know what causes that door to open early. So now I have to debate if I want to do a different strat on these gens coming up. I will time stop the Thunder Demons in this room, hopefully. Back to this. I would like to have more hearts than I do, but that's going to be okay. It means I'm probably just going to lose time in the next room where I need to fight. Game does force us to fight armored sprinters here. Stun resist ring, not useful to me. Ceramics are useful though. Get the save room. Now we skip one gun receipt. We're not skipping this one. Because one of the advantages of using this one is as soon as we get the barrier, is if we turn over here, there's this part of the wall that's That's crumbling. Then we will use time stop again. Again on this skeleton trooper. There is a different strat that you can use on it, but time stop's the easier one. Then in this room, we will slowly go towards it and hope Alright. Well, that was unfortunate, but in here there are some more flame demons. I'd like to not take extra damage if I don't need to. So this is the first one of these we need to fight. Alright, that should be the last thing we need to fight in this area. Alright. I am going to have to heal before the Trevor boss fight for the strat I'm wanting to do on it, but that's okay. I have a couple options for save rooms. That cutscene wards us back to the abandoned castle, because we were just told that at the top of this castle is a hidden chamber. So Trevor, we're just going to try to keep up damage. We will also try to be careful about not getting hit. I made a mistake. Healing items are hard to come by, actually, so it's nice to get the curry, but I specifically got that for this fight, so I'm not mad about losing it. However, I will be mad if I lose any additional health. Now, beyond that, going here, time stop traps are probably good. However, I have hit press level 2. I'm going to use hit press level 2 straps. I didn't get 2, but that's going to be okay. Alright. Now that's in the form I want it, I don't want to even have a chance of evolving again. I'm turning off the crystals now. I will do a time stop strap on these next final guards, because they're actually really annoying to deal with. So, I didn't get the second piece of the material, but that's, again, not the worst. This right here is fine. I'd actually like to have all my health for this next slow section. We do need dark matter. It is important. I should probably move. Hit press on the side of. I mean, I'm more used to having one. Actually, I am going to do that. Which you can do like that. Don't need potion. Now, hopefully I have all the materials I need, because in here I'm going to do another combine. Arguably the best weapon in the game. His competition is like the laser blade, so. And the laser blade is way more involved tonight. Thankfully, you don't have to defeat all the Thunder Dragons. Using there, just the lights. And then here, I'm going to take advantage of the fork of the instant level. If I get all the way over here. It would just teleport. We'll take that down first. Then I do need time stop for this room. I don't need it for this room though. Then I have no presence in this room. This first one I would hit. These ones I will Aura Blast, because this is going to get all of them. I was worried that it wouldn't get all of them there, so I didn't actually hit one. Now I'm going to switch back to time stops specifically for final guards. Right here. And now I can switch back to this and this. Save room because I would like full health for the boss fight. And apparently I'm very bad at this boss fight. So, hopefully. I will go ahead and use the high potion. I really didn't want to though. Thankfully I do have hurry, but so I'm going to hope that I get a high potion drop or a food drop somewhere within Dracula's castle, which is where we're heading now. I will be able to make my spears that I want, so that's going to be good. Yeah, I have like 2 more things to make in the menu. Then I believe we're finished with the combined menu. Unless I decide I want better armor. This room, there are Slobras and Gabons. Gibons, Slobra, and Gabon that I need to fight. So unfortunately starting each side. And now the game is throwing rapid snipers at us. There are ways to cross this gap without bird ID. However, it is way easier just to use the bird, and we have it. So I could shut torches. I'm not going to, but that is something I could do if I wanted to try and recover my high potion, but I'm going to just make the assumption that the curry is probably fine. Potion doesn't help because I'm maxed out on potions. There you go. Well, the ice cream is like a tenth of what I wanted, but okay, I'll take it. I do have 5 more final cards, but in this case I'm going to use the press 2 on them again instead of time stopping them. I didn't mean to steal that. I will go ahead and make better armor actually. Because I'm going to use the hearts a lot more, I'm going to take the save room. So there's a set of flame demons and then there's another set of frost demons. Here are the flame demons. So then there's a room I don't have to fight in, and then there will be the frost demons. Then there's a set of undead lords. More undead lords are going to be in this room, but we're also going to have some executioners. So we can take advantage of the earth element of hip press. We need the dove ID here, You're not providing for the puzzle. Very hard puzzle. I have lost so much time just doing double steps. Quite unfortunate. Rosario, which is really good. I should be fine to skip this save room. My HP may be a little bit lower than I'd like, but it shouldn't be a big deal. Right. Left here. Then I believe there's more assassin zombies. Zombies right here. We don't have to take care of the ghouls, but we do have to defeat the assassin zombies. Don't need to fight here. The room we need to fight in is the 2 red ogres and Cyclops, which is this room. So now it's going to be Cyclopes and Death Rippers. I'm going to use Aura Blast to hopefully take care of most of the Death Rippers while I'm trying to focus down the Cyclops. Now I will take this save room for HP and hearts because there's going to be some harpies I need to deal with coming up. We're not after the harpies yet. So, just in case I do need to do. Just in case I need to fight them a little bit with the sword. I wanted to have that equipped. And now I switch to the Warhammer. We still do want to have hit first level 2 for the next set of enemies. Which is the Iron Gladiators in this encounter. The final guards don't matter. Then we'll switch to this. Put this back in guard. Guard just so it doesn't take damage, hopefully. Got the steel field. And now it's just going to be a bit of running through the rest of Dracula's castle. So, first encounter in Dracula's castle is going to be basically the same as the last encounter in Dracula's castle that we have to fight. The difference is the way the spawn is. Put that back in guard. Put my spear. I'm missing what? 20 hearts. That's not going to be that big of a deal. And if it does, there's a bigger issue anyway. Little footsteps so we can do this. Because we want to unlock this boss. Hopefully we do well.
You resurrected the cat.
I did just wait for his first attack. I'm getting a bit unlucky that he keeps not letting me do a continuation. Yep, well, nothing I can do about that. So now I do have to just stand here and wait for him to summon all three of the innocent devils and send two of them back. Nothing I can do about that. Attack, it is raining. Alright. Need this. That has to be guard. Have to heal here. Here. And time for the time boss. Hopefully. I don't get trolled in the first part of it. But I want to be shot by two. A little bit already. Switch to Warhammer.
Power of darkness.
And I need a pretty good fight. So of course we start with the worst possible attack. Getting grabbed is legitimately one of the worst things. This was expected. Okay, I'm out of 5 potions. But I also lost one, so... I can afford to let Really? Is that WR? It's close. Close, I'm pretty sure. Let's check the HT. 149.16. I'd call that a pretty fair run.